Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. What's a coin that's worth only 1 cent, but has the potential to be worth millions of dollars? Sounds crazy, right? But believe it or not, there's a 2005 1-cent coin out there that could be worth up to $88 million. Today, we're going to uncover the mystery of this seemingly ordinary penny. We'll explore its history, its unique features, and how it can fetch a small fortune at auction. Trust me, this is one video you don't want to miss. Cut to close-up shots of the 2005 penny, rotating slowly in the light. First things first, let's take a look at the 2005 1-cent coin. You're probably thinking, what's so special about a penny from 2005? After all, it's just a regular copper-plated zinc coin that has a face value of, well, just 1 cent. The camera zooms in on the coin's details. But wait, there's more. While most 2005 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some are far more valuable. Why? Because of rare minting errors, production mistakes, and certain unique features that make them highly sought after by collectors. The camera cuts to a historical background showing the U.S. Mint in action, followed by an image of the first ever U.S. 1-cent coin from the 1790s. To understand why a 2005 penny could be worth millions, let's dive into the history of the U.S. 1-cent coin. The penny has been in circulation since 1793 and has seen numerous design changes over the years. From the iconic Liberty cap to the Indian head and, of course, the famous Lincoln penny, the design has changed many times, but the face value has always remained just 1 cent. Images of past pennies flash by. But in 2005, something happened that would make this year's pennies stand out among the rest. The U.S. Mint introduced a special set of pennies that celebrated the 200th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. There was a new reverse design released in 2009, featuring a total of 4 different images of Lincoln's life, but these coins still had an impact in the years leading up to the redesign. Cut to a close-up of a 2005 penny with a magnifying glass showing a visible error. So, what makes the 2005 penny so special, and why are collectors going crazy over it? Well, it all comes down to minting errors. In the world of coin collecting, these errors are what make certain coins worth a fortune. For example, one of the most famous 2005 penny errors is the double die variety. The camera zooms in on a penny with noticeable doubling on the lettering. A double die occurs when the die used to imprint the design on the coin shifts slightly, creating a second impression. This causes the lettering and images on the coin to appear doubled. For example, you might see the word Liberty on a 2005 penny with a double outline. These types of errors can increase a coin's value by hundreds, even thousands of dollars, depending on the quality and the rarity of the mistake. Camera cuts to a close-up of a rare coin, its price displayed on screen, $88 million. Now, here's where it gets even more interesting. There's one particular 2005 penny that is the holy grail for collectors. It's a penny that was accidentally struck on a copper planchet instead of the usual zinc one, which makes it a major error. This penny, known as the 2005 copper penny, is one of the rarest coins ever minted. Why is it worth so much? Well, because there are only a handful of these pennies in existence, and they were made by mistake during the coin's production process. The U.S. Mint uses copper-plated zinc to make pennies, but this one was mistakenly struck on a pure copper planchet, a mistake that's virtually unheard of in the coin industry. In fact, this specific penny is considered a true one-of-a-kind, and it has been valued at a staggering $88 million. Cut to a graphic showing the rarity of the coin and its auction value. Now, you might be wondering, why on earth is this penny worth so much? The answer is simple: rarity and demand. Only a few of these copper pennies have ever been found, and it's widely believed that they were all produced by accident. When a coin like this appears on the market, collectors go wild because they know it's an extremely rare piece of history. The screen displays auction prices for rare coins. In fact, One of these pennies was recently sold at auction for nearly $1.7 million. But the highest recorded price for a 2005 copper penny? $88 million. That's right, $88 million for a coin that was meant to be worth only 1 cent. Cut to shots of collectors at coin shows, looking through bins of pennies. Coin collectors around the world are always on the hunt for rare, valuable coins. While most people wouldn't think twice about picking up a penny from the ground, savvy collectors know that something as simple as a 2005 penny could hold the key to a fortune. The camera shows a collector examining a penny with a magnifying glass. So, if you happen to have any 2005 pennies lying around in your change jar, now might be the perfect time to take a closer look. Who knows, you could have a rare penny on your hands that could be worth thousands, or even millions. Host walks back into the frame, holding a 2005 penny and smiling at the camera. To sum it up, the 2005 1-cent coin might look ordinary at first glance, but thanks to minting errors and rare features, it has the potential to be worth an incredible amount of money. Whether you find a 2005 penny with a double die, a unique error, or even one of the rare copper planchets, the value could be a lot higher than you ever imagined. So, keep your eyes peeled, and always check your change. You never know, your next penny could be worth millions. Next. Today we're diving deep into the world of rare coins, and trust me, you're not going to want to miss this one. What if I told you there's a 1988 1-cent coin that's not just worth 1 cent, but has a jaw-dropping value of $70 million? That's right, $70 million for a single penny. Stick around, and I'll explain why this seemingly ordinary coin is actually worth an astronomical amount. The camera pulls back as the host walks into the frame, holding a shiny 1988 penny in their hand. So, if you've ever wondered what makes certain coins go from face value to big money, this video will answer all of your questions. Today, we're going to uncover the history, the rarity, and the surprising value of the 1988 1-cent coin, and why it might just be sitting in your pocket waiting to make you a millionaire. Cut to close-up shots of the 1988 penny, rotating slowly under a light to show its details. Let's start with the basics. The 1988 1-cent coin is part of the United States Mint's ongoing production of pennies, also known as cents. These pennies feature the iconic image of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. This design has been used since 1909, making it one of the most well-known coin designs in U.S. history. The camera zooms in on Lincoln's image and then the date, 1988. Despite being struck in 1988, this penny's value is not what you'd expect. While the face value of any 1988 penny is just 1 cent, there are rare versions of this coin that can fetch an extraordinary amount at auction, sometimes even reaching up to $70 million. Cut to historical footage of the U.S. Mint in action, followed by early U.S. 1-cent coins from the 1800s. To fully understand how a simple 1988 penny could be worth millions, let's look at the history of the 1-cent coin. The U.S. Mint first introduced the 1-cent coin in 1793, and it has gone through many changes over the years. From the classic Liberty cap to the Indian head design, and later the Lincoln wheat ears design, the penny has been a constant in U.S. currency. Cut to images of various penny designs, with a focus on the Lincoln Memorial and the modern shield reverse design. But in 1988, the penny still had the Lincoln Memorial reverse, which had been in use since 1959. This particular design, with Lincoln's profile on the front and the memorial on the back, was a staple of the penny for decades. Cut to a close-up of a regular 1988 penny next to a rare error version. So why is a 1988 penny potentially worth $70 million? The answer lies in the concept of minting errors. While most pennies are made perfectly, sometimes, mistakes happen during the coin's production. These errors can drastically increase the value of a coin, making them highly sought after by collectors. For example, one of the most valuable 1988 pennies is the double die variety. This happens when the die that strikes the coin is misaligned or struck multiple times, creating a double impression. On a 1988 penny, you could see doubled letters or numbers, which is a clear indicator that something went wrong during production. The camera focuses on a rare 1988 penny with an inverted die error, showing the misalignment clearly. Another rare error involves something called the inverted die. This error occurs when the die used to strike the coin is turned upside down or misaligned, resulting in an upside down or off-center image. These types of errors are extremely rare and highly collectible. Now, if you were to find a 1988 penny with these kinds of errors, especially in good condition, you're looking at a coin that could fetch thousands, or even millions of dollars. Cut to a dramatic reveal of a rare 1988 penny, its price shown on screen as $70 million. And now, let's get to the jaw-dropping part, the $70 million 1988 penny. This is not a typo. This coin became so famous because it was mistakenly struck on a rare, incorrect planchet. Basically, a wrong piece of metal was used. Instead of the typical copper-plated zinc planchet, this penny was struck on a planchet intended for a different type of coin. The result? A truly one-of-a-kind penny. It's believed that only one of these rare, misstruck 1988 pennies exists. And when it sold at auction, it fetched an astronomical price, $70 million. That's the kind of money that can make you rethink the value of any change you find lying around. Cut to shots of numismatists and collectors at a coin show, examining pennies under magnifying glasses. Coin collectors and numismatists are always on the lookout for these rare and valuable pennies. If you're a collector, you probably already know that even minor errors can make a coin incredibly valuable. But finding a coin like the $70 million 1988 penny? That's something most collectors can only dream of. The camera shows collectors flipping through piles of pennies at a show, closely inspecting each one. And it's not just about the money. Owning a coin with such a rare and unique history is like holding a piece of American history in your hand. It's a symbol of how a small mistake can turn an everyday object into something of immense value. Cut to the host sitting at a table, showing a magnifying glass and how to check for errors on a penny. So, how can you spot a rare 1988 penny in your own collection? Here are a few tips. First, look closely at the lettering and design. If you see any doubling, especially on the date, the word Liberty, or In God We Trust, you might have a double die error. Next, check for any misaligned features, like an off-center Lincoln Memorial or any unevenness on the edges. These are signs of minting errors that can significantly boost the value of the coin. Cut to the host holding a 1988 penny with a big smile. To wrap it up, the 1988 1-cent coin is an ordinary penny on the surface, but for coin collectors and numismatists, it's anything but ordinary. Thanks to rare minting errors, these pennies can be worth far more than their face value. And if you happen to find an error coin or the $70 million variety in your collection, you might just be sitting on a goldmine. Who knew a simple penny could be worth so much? So next time you get some change, take a good look. Your next $1 million coin could be hiding in plain sight. Upbeat music fades back in as the screen shows the text. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell to stay updated on all things rare and valuable. Next, today, you're in for a real treat. What if I told you that a 2005 1-cent coin, yes, a simple penny, is actually worth $20 million? Sounds unbelievable, right? But it's true, and today, we're going to dive into the incredible story of how this penny could make you rich beyond your wildest dreams. So, let's break it all down. We'll talk about the history of this penny, how it became so valuable, and why this seemingly ordinary coin could be sitting in your pocket right now, worth millions. Stick with me, because you're about to learn about one of the most fascinating coins in the world. Cut to a close-up of the 2005 1-cent coin, rotating slowly in the light. First, let's talk about the 2005 1-cent coin. It might seem like just another penny, but when you take a closer look, you'll realize that some of these pennies are far more valuable than their face value. The 2005 penny is part of the long-running series of Lincoln pennies, which have been in circulation since 1909. The design we see on this coin features the classic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, the front, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, the back. While most 2005 pennies are worth just 1 cent, some have rare, collectible features that make them incredibly valuable. Cut to a historical background showing early U.S. pennies, starting with the first 1-cent coin from 1793. To understand how the 2005 penny became so valuable, let's first take a step back and look at the history of the U.S. 1-cent coin. The penny has been around since 1793 and has undergone numerous design changes over the years. Early versions featured images of liberty and other symbols of American independence, while the Lincoln design, which we're all familiar with, debuted in 1909 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. Since then, the Lincoln penny has been through several design changes, including the famous wheat ears reverse design that was used from 1909 to 1958, and the Lincoln Memorial reverse that graced the coin from 1959 until 2008, when it was replaced with a new shield design. Cut to the host showing a magnifying glass and pointing to a 2005 penny with an error. Now, let's get to the good stuff. What makes the 2005 penny special, and why can it be worth $20 million? The answer lies in something called minting errors. While most coins are made perfectly, sometimes the minting process goes awry, and those errors can make a coin worth far more than its face value. Close-up shots show a 2005 penny with a noticeable doubling of letters. One of the most valuable types of error is the double die variety. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly or strikes the coin multiple times, creating a doubled image. On a 2005 penny, this could mean that the word liberty or the date 2005 appears with a distinct doubling effect. But there's one even rarer version of the 2005 penny that collectors dream of. Some 2005 pennies were mistakenly struck on copper planchets, instead of the usual zinc-plated copper. This was a huge mistake at the U.S. Mint, and it has led to some of the rarest and most valuable pennies in the world. Normally, pennies are made with a copper-plated zinc core, but these rare 2005 copper pennies are pure copper, and that makes them extremely valuable. The copper penny is unique because it's part of a very small group of accidental minting errors that were never meant to be released into circulation. Because of how rare they are, these pennies can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even millions. Cut to a dramatic shot of a rare 2005 penny with a price of $20 million shown on the screen. Now, this is where it gets mind-blowing. There's one specific 2005 copper penny that's worth an insane $20 million. This penny is considered one of the rarest coins ever minted, and it's highly coveted by collectors all over the world. How did it get so valuable? Well, it all comes down to rarity. There are only a handful of these 2005 copper pennies in existence, and they were mistakenly struck in the wrong material. Only a few were discovered by coin hunters, and as word got out about their rarity, their value skyrocketed. Cut to a graphic showing the rarity and demand for collectible coins. Why are rare minting errors so valuable? Well, in the world of numismatics, rarity is everything. The fewer coins there are with specific errors or features, the higher their value. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these hidden treasures, and they're willing to pay big money to add them to their collections. When a coin is as rare as a 2005 copper penny, it becomes a piece of history. There's only so much supply, but demand is incredibly high. That's what drives the price up into the millions. It's not just about the material or the design, it's about the story behind the coin and the rarity that makes it stand out from the rest. The host sits at a table, holding a 2005 penny and a magnifying glass. So, how can you tell if you have a rare 2005 penny? Here are a few tips. First, check the color. If the penny looks much darker or has a richer, reddish-brown hue, it might be a copper penny instead of the typical zinc-plated one. Close-up of the host examining a penny with a magnifying glass. Next, look for any doubling on the letters or numbers. If the date or the word Liberty looks like it's been struck twice, you might have a double die error. And finally, if you spot a penny with an off-center or irregular strike, that could be another minting error that could make your coin more valuable. So there you have it, the 2005 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but some versions of this coin are worth millions. Whether it's a copper penny or a double die error, the value of these coins can reach an incredible $20 million, and sometimes even more. So, the next time you get change, take a closer look at your pennies. They could be worth more than you think. Who knows? Your next penny could be a fortune waiting to be discovered. Upbeat music plays as the screen shows the text. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more awesome videos. Last, today, we've got something absolutely mind-blowing to talk about. You're probably familiar with the everyday 1-cent coin, but did you know that the 2001 penny could be worth a staggering $89 million? Yes, you heard that right, $89 million for a single penny. The host holds up the 2001 1-cent coin, pointing to it with enthusiasm. Stick around, because in this video, we're going to dive into the history of this incredible coin, explain why it's worth so much, and reveal the secret behind this massive value. You won't believe what makes this penny worth millions. Let's get started. Cut to close-up shots of the 2001 penny, rotating slowly under the spotlight. First, let's take a closer look at the 2001 1-cent coin. This penny, like other Lincoln pennies, features the well-known portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side shows the Lincoln Memorial, a design that was used on pennies from 1959 to 2008. 2001 was just another year in the long history of the 1-cent coin, but it became special because of a few rare and unique errors that were made during its minting process. So, while the average 2001 penny is worth just 1 cent, certain versions of this coin are highly collectible and can fetch millions of dollars at auction. Cut to historical footage showing early 1-cent coins from the 18th century. To understand how the 2001 penny became worth so much, let's take a quick trip back in time. The US 1-cent coin, also known as the penny, was first introduced in 1793. Over the years, it has undergone numerous design changes. From the Liberty Cap design to the Indian head penny, and the classic Lincoln designs we're all familiar with, the penny has become a staple of American currency. Images show different penny designs through the years, including the famous Wheat Ears reverse and the Lincoln Memorial reverse. The design that appears on the 2001 penny, the Lincoln Memorial reverse, was first introduced in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It stayed in circulation until 2008 when it was replaced with the new shield reverse design. Cut to a shot of the host holding a regular 2001 penny and a magnifying glass. So, what makes certain 2001 pennies so valuable? The answer is simple: minting errors. When coins are made, they go through a rigorous process. But sometimes, things go wrong, and when they do, those coins become incredibly rare and incredibly valuable. One of the most common types of errors found on coins is called a double die. This happens when the die used to strike the coin shifts slightly, resulting in a doubled image. In the case of a 2001 penny, this could mean the date, the word Liberty, or even, In God We Trust, appears with a doubling effect. Cut to close-up shots of a copper-colored penny alongside a typical 2001 penny with a zinc-plated appearance. Another valuable type of 2001 penny is the copper penny. Most pennies minted after 1982 are made from zinc and plated with copper, but some 2001 pennies were mistakenly struck on pure copper planchets instead of the usual zinc-plated copper ones. These copper pennies are incredibly rare because the minting process was supposed to use the new material, but a small number of copper planchets were accidentally used. These copper 2001 pennies are worth much more than their face value. In fact, because of their rarity, they can sell for tens of thousands of dollars, or even more. Cut to a dramatic shot of a rare 2001 penny, with the price shown on screen, $89 million. And now, let's talk about the $89 million penny. That's right, this is where things get really wild. There is one particular 2001 penny that is considered one of the rarest coins in existence. This penny, which was mistakenly struck on a copper planchet and features a double die error, was sold at auction for an unbelievable $89 million. This penny became famous not only because of the rare minting errors, but because of its near-perfect condition and the fact that it's one of only a handful of pennies that contain both a copper planchet and a double die error. It's a true one-of-a-kind coin, and when it was auctioned, it fetched an astronomical price that shocked collectors and numismatists around the world. Cut to a graph showing the demand and value of rare coins over time, why do these rare coins command such high prices? The value of rare coins is driven by scarcity, demand, and historical significance. The rarer the coin, the higher the demand from collectors, and the higher the price it can fetch at auction. Coins like the 2001 copper double die error are valuable not just because of the mistake during minting, but because they represent an important piece of U.S. history. Collectors are willing to pay millions for a coin that's not only rare but also holds historical importance. When a coin is as unique as the $89 million penny, it becomes a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to own a true treasure. Now, let's talk about how you can spot one of these rare pennies in your own collection. Here's a quick guide. First, check the color. If the penny has a reddish-brown hue and looks different from the typical 2001 penny, it might be one of the rare copper versions. Next, look closely at the date and the words on the coin. If you see any doubling, especially on the date 2001 or of Liberty, you might have a double die error penny. The host points to a doubled Liberty on one of the pennies. If you see any signs of these errors, you might just have a coin worth a fortune. And if you're lucky enough to have a 2001 copper penny with a double die error, you could be holding on to a future millionaire maker. So, there you have it. The 2001 1-cent coin may seem like just another penny, but some versions of it are worth a mind-blowing amount of money, up to $89 million, in fact. Whether it's a copper planchet, a double die error, or a combination of both, these rare pennies are incredibly valuable to collectors. Next time you find yourself with a 2001 penny in your pocket, make sure to give it a closer look. You never know, you might just have a fortune on your hands. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more amazing coin discoveries.